I've got the pleasure of introducing the next session, which is building a real estate business with impact and intention. And I'm joined by three Aussies on the stage. We've got Lee Smith, Dean Mannion, and Lee Martinuzzi. Woohoo! So you made this really difficult for me by having two Lees. Thank you. Welcome to this session. So we're going to dive right in, and because we've spoken on stage, haven't we? And I know you guys have got kind of different approaches, different business setups. So Lee Smith, I know you're a very, very high producer in Australia. Tell us a little bit about that. What's been the things that you've put into place that have really helped your business to grow?
I think just service, basically service, work ethic, hard work, consistency, just being authentic and just delivering, whether, not expecting, it's not chasing the dollar, just being of service, whether it takes a year, 2 years, 5 years, do what you say you're going to do, and do it consistently.
Avoiding commission breath.
And really commissionally.
So when you say authentic, what does that mean? What does that really mean, being authentic? Give some examples.
Being authentic is being true to yourself. So be who you are and do as you say you're going to do. You don't have to try to be somebody else. Just be yourself. Know you, know your worth.
Okay.
And follow that.
Yeah, I think that was a really big lesson in my career is just to be yourself. So when I first started out in the industry, I was a typical agent. I came from an executive retail background. I saw what real estate agents looked like, so I tried to imitate them. I put the suit and tie on, and I became what I call a real estate wanker. and honestly, that's what I was. I was walking in there, it was just bullshit. And it wasn't until I went away and reassessed my life that I thought, what I need to do is just be my fucking self. And if I can do that, excuse the language, right, but that's what's really important, and that's what people are going to connect with. So I think it's really an important point.
You're a systems kind of guy. We were talking off stage about some of the stuff you've done to really help, impact your business by outsourcing some of the work. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so I'm a big believer that I really want to design the life that I love. I believe we all want more freedom, fulfillment, and happiness in life. And I really believe that. I think if you look at all your actions that you do every day, the main motivational force behind those actions is to create more happiness in your life. The problem that we have is often that we have actions based on all the external expectations and extrinsic motivations rather than what's from within. So I think it's really important to design it from that area. And that means doing the stuff that you're good at, doing the stuff that aligns with your strengths, and delegating the rest to other people that can do the other stuff, like admin, right? I'm very good at admin, but I don't like to do it. So I've hired virtual assistants to help me with that process, and they free up a lot of my time so I can focus on the stuff that I like, which is dealing with people.
And what do they do for you day to day? Where are they based? What do they do? How does that work?
Yeah, so I've actually just recruited 2 new VAs. So one was with me for some time, but she left because of personal reasons. So I've got an admin assistant that works 40 hours. They're both based in the Philippines, and she can do all the admin stuff. And then I've got a marketing one that's going to help me with the marketing of the business and the tech side of the things, which I love, but I'm not that good at.
And one more question on that. I'll come to the end in just a moment. One of the biggest objections I hear about VAs is trusting the VA to execute the work in the manner that you want them to execute it. That's just training, right? How long does that take?
Well, I think you need to trust everyone until they lose your trust. So I think that's the first step, is just giving them your trust and letting them do the work. The Filipinos have a very good work ethic, so generally they'll go above and beyond to make sure they're doing the job for you. But it comes down to systems, right? Having systems in place so they can follow a process and prioritise the day-to-day tasks and activities.
Yeah. And Dee, you're massive on brand.
Okay, my brand. Well, with anything I start or I do, I have the overdrive of a creative brain. So for me, it's a thought. I work with passion, and I sort of just build up on that. For me, I've sort of from the word go, and being with EXP has been fabulous because there's no one to clip your wings with your branding. I live in North Queensland, which is the tropics, a beautiful place if you've heard of the Whitsundays. So it is all tropical, and lifestyle has been a big, big influence on how I have branded myself and marketed my business. So I never have at a property selling with the thought of bricks and mortar. It's always about the people, the family, and I basically work on that, and I find it easy to make people to home. So, yeah.
What's the most impactful thing that you've done from a branding point of view, do you think, to the marketplace?
I'd say my social media. I probably started, I did start videos probably over 10 years ago when no one was really doing it. You can stalk my Facebook page if you like, and you can see, and I think, oh, how nerdy, because I remember the videographer having European blood. I move around generally when I talk. I'm pretty good here at the moment. But, he'd say, you've got to keep your hands still. And I feel like this news reporter when I see them now, where now I'm the boss. I say how I want my videos, and that's how they do. And, yeah, so I'd say social media, not being afraid to put your face out there, just being yourself. I get good feedback, probably about 1,700 on my Facebook page. So for me in a business my size, that is really good because it's all been grown organically. I never lose an opportunity. I'm fortunate at the moment we're in a really good seller's market. So you could have 20, 30 people contact you and the property's already under offer. So whether they've text or call, I just refer them onto my Facebook page, suggest they follow me if they want to find out what properties are coming on before they hit the market. And it's amazing how they get to know you. You'll go to an open home and they talk to you like they know you. Or, I got referred a listing from another EXP agent that's further north. And when I went to do the appraisal, she said, yep, I want to work with you. I know how you operate. I love your social media. And but I had no idea that she'd already followed me, and neither did Karen, who's in our team. So I'd have to say social media, and anyone who's not but with it, you've got to be yourself. Don't be the bragging agent. Let's look how many I've sold. Just be raw and real. Speak from the heart, and the genuine care comes out, I think. And don't be frightened to be different. I still put up my own signs, and they're Allubond and for my height, and they're big. But that is probably the other thing too. Every listing, or if you're an agent and you don't have many listings, you can really milk one listing. If you get on social media and it's coming soon, do your blurb. I actually have coming soon signs. Yes, it is twice as much work, especially when I'm putting them up myself. But I just feel that creates an energy for me as well, being hands-on. When you're showing that, people admire you. They see I'm more proactive than the local agents. So my town is a regional town, dominated by, the main offices. But I still outdid them in my suburb.
So going back to the video on social media, that's high impact. How do you overcome the fear of doing video, and what sort of videos are you filming?
Well, because our market, I could launch a property and it will be under contract within 3 days. So I'm not really bothering unless the property really needs a professional video. I just pull out my phone. Half the time I have my tripods or my selfie sticks. I don't use them. I just put my phone on. So if I was listing a new property and I put up coming soon, grab my phone, might be with my drill, often it's drills and pearls, that was a bit of a thing, and I might just say something about it, might create a reel, take a few different photos, the drill on the ground, whatever, and just create a story. So then you've listed it, then you can be there talking about it, or at an open home. Then if it goes under contract, I do have under contract stickers, and then you've got the sold, and then if you can, usually I try and get the buyers or sellers to put up their sold sticker, and I, create, and they'll say something on that. So really that's one property, you've probably got 5 videos you can do, but you're not standing there saying how good I am, the agent, I've sold this property. And then I think, I usually, when they are sold, I put every sold has a story, and then there's a little bit of story about the people who've purchased it.
And that's authenticity, isn't it? And someone mentioned about social media that came back to you, they've been watching you. I think one of the guys in the UK once said was just because they didn't like it doesn't mean they didn't like it. So just because they didn't press the like button doesn't mean they didn't watch it.
No, incredible. Like I wouldn't have known this lady do. And you've really got to switch off. For us ladies, you might be there and think, bloody hell, my hair, am I going to do this? I'm going to the hairdressers, and you just don't worry about it. I mean, filters come in handy these days. But when your viewers see it's raw and real, for me, Facebook is more effective than Instagram. And I have asked people, like sometimes parents have come to have a look at the house for the kids. And then I say, look, do you want us to do a video walkthrough? And they say, no, we're fine. We know. And, they'll comment on my page and they just say, we follow you on the page. And then I have asked, I said, what is it that you really like about the page? Yeah.
And Lee Smith, what would you say is the most impactful thing you've done with your business? Because you are like top agent. What is it you do? What's the secret?
The secret? Pretty much what I said in the beginning. It's just consistency.
What are the actual steps?
Getting up early and thinking out the box and chasing and being relentlessly following up, relentlessly delivering a good service, and always giving good feedback immediately. Just following up, just consistent all the time, staying on it. Following up, making the calls, doing the steps every single day. Follow up, somebody comes to home open, you call those buyers. Anybody comes through, you follow up for feedback. Even if they've said that's it, we're not interested, follow up for feedback. I often get listings, people coming that just said, they'll call me to list their home and say, you were the only agent that phoned me after I'd been interviewing and followed up.
Is that few agents in Australia that don't?
A lot of people don't follow up, especially when the market's good. When the market's good and literally buyers are coming at you, people forget. They don't.
How do you generate your leads? How do you generate your leads? Listings.
For listings, 80% of my business is referral and repeat. So from previous clients or people that I've met that have then referred me. The rest of it comes through sometimes on the portals, main portals, and my website. A lot of other ones come through my signboards because they have a big QR code on them that goes straight to the listing directly, just straight to that one, and then it leads them to, no more if you want an appraisal. So I probably get about 5% on that, but 80% of my business is still repeat and referral. So I've built up a strong brand, and so that was when I went to EXP, I kept my brand. So EXP gave me the platform to do and be more of who I was, but I kept my brand, and so it's repeat and referral, and I pick up the phone consistently. Even when I don't feel like it, I do it. And work ethic, just working, thinking out the box, listening, ear to the ground.
Discipline. And Lee, Martin, what about you? What's the
look, I think I've done heaps of things with impact. I'm very impatient, so I typically can't sit still. I've got ADHD brain, and I just do shit. So going on to social media I think you just got to start somewhere. You just got to get on the camera and start doing it. I've got a guy that works with me at the moment. He's Italian, very thick accent, and I just put the camera in front of him and he just talks, and I didn't understand what he said, so just do it again. But now he's starting to do videos, so it's just consistency and practice, right? Just doing anything. One of the biggest things that I did when I first got to my community, so I moved to a little town in Sunshine Coast, Australia, beautiful area, and I did community events. So I did movie nights, so I'd organise a big screen, I'd get sponsors. It was all paid for, I didn't have to pay for it myself, I just organised it. But I love it, I loved event planning, so I did that. I got all the community there, the kids, the families, and obviously I was standing up there at the front as well, presenting to the audience, so it really put my face in front of the community as the community guy. But it was genuine, right? I actually enjoyed doing it. So I did that, And then I got a little bit addicted, I got a bit out of control, so I started doing all sorts of different other events. I was doing fundraisers, I did Clean Up Australia Day for our local townships, so getting everyone there to help clean up the area. So a lot of community events was probably the biggest part of my impact in my area when I immediately moved there. And I dominated the area within a year. So I took out all the other agents and became the #1 agent in the area. So yeah, it works.
So that's it. I mean, I hear this all over in every country I go to is consistency, hard work, discipline over motivation, because we're not all motivated every day, and getting yourself a video, being part of the community, getting your face out there. So yeah, everything you said, top tip. So thank you very much, guys. Round of applause.